Oh, wait. Well, wait, there we are. Hi, everybody. Um, I hope you can see and hear. Um, oh gosh, well, I guess I'll look and see if anybody writes anything. Oh, there's hello. Okay, so I know things are good. Um, oh my God, it's so good to be with you guys. Um, it's I come to you from the future. Um, it's actually tomorrow. If you're in America or any place in that part of the world, I'm actually coming to you from tomorrow, and it's really beautiful. So I recommend it highly. Um, and if you're in Europe or Asia, you've joined me in tomorrow. Actually, I'm not sure about Europe, but um, other people are sure about Europe, so we've got it covered, I'm sure. Um, but this is my room that I've been living in the last few months, and it is in Tokyo. And um, boy, uh, it's funny. I was thinking about it. This is so special that um, to be able to share this with you guys, to be here. When I started making things, learning how to make things to share with people that I loved, I was in my bedroom, I was in my room, making cassettes and um, and sharing them with people I couldn't be with in person. And another thing that was really, really special to me was the idea of live broadcast, which is almost the opposite side of the spectrum. You're in your little world, and you're in your room, and you're making these worlds in your imagination, and you want to share them with people that you care about. And then I used to love things like the radio, where it was being beamed into uh, all of our rooms. Like there was this sense that you weren't alone, not only because the people making the broadcast were there in that moment with you making that broadcast, but also because you knew that there were all these other people listening too. And so you were listening with them. And I loved that feeling a lot. And I would have never imagined that time would come where I, I could, my bedroom, I could be in my room and, uh, sharing a moment like this with people all over the world. So it's a pretty neat. So actually, I was curious, where are you guys? If anybody wants to just type where you are, I know there's a lot of you and stuff, but it'd be fun to sort of see a little bit of where we are. Um, but oh, Michigan! Whoa! Oh my God! It's exploding! It's going so fast. New Zealand, California, Alaska, Poland, Germany. Wow! Florida! It's going so fast. Holland. Oh my God! New Zealand. Wow! Wow! And it's amazing. Uruguay, Maine. Haha. Um, wow, Peaks Island. Wow. I know Athens. Uh, I know my friend John is in a little house in the desert. This is so, and Costa Rica. Wow, Newfoundland. Funky Town. We're all in Funky Town. Um, oh, well, it's pretty wonderful that we can be in all these places and also be there together. I'd like to sing a song for you guys. And I'd like to dedicate it to uh, first my friend Jeremy Ayers, who left the world about the time that this song was coming into it. And I wanted to dedicate it to Jeremy. I love you, Jeremy. And I wanted to dedicate it to everyone who loved Jeremy, Jill, hi, and Robbie, and John, and I know a bunch of you are out there, so I wanted to get it dedicated to all of you, and also to I wanted to sing it to the Orbiting Human Circus exists in the imaginations of a bunch of you out there, and I wanted to thank you, and it's been an amazing few years, and I wanted to also dedicate it to you. And every time the janitor sings it, he sings it to you. Um, and also, before I sing the song, I wanted to show you one amazing feature of my bedroom, which is that I have this very surreal, enormous curtain that I can drop. I can like lower it like on stage whenever I want to do like a set change or change outfits or something like that. Um, so without further ado, I'm not actually going to do like a costume change now, but we're going to go ahead and sing this song for you. Oh, here you are, and you're all you wished to be. You're alive, and you're not alone. Not alone in this. So close your eyes, hear the whole world call your name, and you answer, please don't go, please don't go away. All I know is you right away. Call me here, I will light of day. All the words of the songs we love will sing mean the same thing, and it's not goodbye. No, it's not. Go away. This part of the song is about going out on your own. Bye. Dad. Bye. Call my name, behold the strength of my embrace. All I sing to you, my prayer, don't go away. All of your life, you've been holding on to just one thing, and it calls you. Please don't go. Please don't go away. Um, so that was City of Lights from the Orbiting Human Circus, actually. And Thomas, some of the orchestration that you heard was also orchestrated by Thomas Hughes, the wonderful, wonderful Thomas, who love you and who's amazing. Um, and so some of you, I guess I can take off my banjo, huh? For a second. Uh, a bunch of people wanted me to tell you about this, so I'm going to. I had the extraordinary honor of knowing one of the greatest rhythmic geniuses that the world has ever known. Um, he hated my music. Actually, he completely couldn't stand my music, but he couldn't stand all music. Uh, he was tone deaf, but so it sounded like screeching to him. But actually, that wasn't the main reason that he couldn't stand music. It was because no matter how complicated the rhythms in the music were, uh, they were too simple, mind-numbingly simple for him, and they drowned out the rhythms that he loved. Uh, so you see, the thing is that he was born colorblind, dyslexic, uh, tone deaf, and he couldn't speak until he was 5. He didn't start speaking, but he could hear rhythms. He could be in a room and he could hear the refrigerator humming, set against someone's his own heartbeat, set against somebody else's breathing, set against footsteps outside, against the sound and the rhythm of birds chirping, a cat purring, cars going by, the wind going through the trees. And in all of these things, he could hear a comprehensible rhythm. Like to us, it'd be random. Like for him, he could hear the rhythm and he loved these rhythms. And so that was what he did. He just listened and lived for listening for these rhythms. Now his parents were alcoholic and they were always fighting, and his house could be a scary place. And one day he noticed that whenever his parents were fighting, there was always a certain kind of rhythm. And when bad things were happening, there was a certain kind of rhythm occurring in that moment, a certain family of rhythms. And then he also noticed, you know how when things are really nice, like you know how like time sort of like spreads out, things kind of feel more vast, and you kind of you remember how beautiful everything actually is, like how bright colors are, and it's just really really good times, really really happy moments. Like in all those kinds of moments, he also noticed there was a different kind of rhythm occurring, and so he started experimenting. He started when his parents were fighting. He started sort of like tapping his foot and breathing in a certain rhythm and just fidgeting around trying to turn the bad rhythm into a good rhythm. And what he found was that when he did this, everybody in the room couldn't help unconsciously joining in. Their breathing would match his breathing. They would start rocking back and forth in their chairs unconsciously, just like he was. And suddenly the bad rhythm would turn into a good rhythm and his parents would stop fighting. And invariably it led to ice cream. So he put on a few pounds. Um, and so by the time that I met him, he was grown up. He was an adult, and he just traveled from places to places, changing the rhythm. Like, he would come and stay for a little while, but he could go anywhere. Like, he could go into like a diner or something. He'd move his soup spoon around. He'd move his glass. He'd like breathe. He'd cough a little bit. He'd tap his foot, and suddenly you'd feel like everything would change in the most wonderful way. And he could go into an emergency room and he'd start doing that and people would start smiling and people would know that everything's going to be okay and people would start hugging and he could go anywhere and do this and what happened was that he there was a war, and he wanted to go to where the bombs were going to be dropping, to change the rhythm of the bombs dropping for the people that the bombs were dropping on. And we didn't want him to go. I didn't want him to go. None of our friends wanted him to go. Nobody wanted him to go. And I tried so hard to keep him from going. But what he said to me was, it was incredibly important. He said that the story of my life have a certain rhythm. And in order for that to happen, it's incredibly important that I die on beat. And all that I can say is that it worked. Because every time that I've ever told anybody this story, every time I've ever told myself this story, anytime that anybody ever tells anybody this story, the thing that the story describes happens. Um, and you'll find out if you tell it to anybody too. Um, so I want to sing you guys a song, um, and dedicate it to that friend, uh, and another friend who has something to do with that story. Neil, if you're out there, and Grant, hi Grant. And you guys made so many wonderful requests. Uh, so I'm trying to do as much as I can. I actually can't be very loud because our neighbors are really close, so that limits things. And then Robbie actually isn't, of course, here. Robbie's on the other side of the ocean, so there's a lot of things I can't play without Robbie. Hi, Robbie, I love you. And everybody say hi to Robbie. Music tapes, Robbie, who is so essential. Uh, the polar bear can't tap dance without Robbie. So, gonna play. Hold on one sec. All right, there we go. That's better. All right, you guys can see me, okay? Right? Yeah, I think so. All right. I want to dedicate this song actually to Bill Doss. Bill, there's a part of this song, Christmas, it's singing about Christmas morning that was kind of written for Bill. Bill and I had these conversations, I think, that led to it, and so I want to dedicate this to him and everybody who loved Bill, Will Westbrook, Scott, Jeff, Astra, um, all of you guys, Vernon. All right, Laura. Okay. Aliens, aliens, well, always wanna go home. Always wanna go home. Always wanna go. Aliens will always wanna go. Always wanna go. Always wanna go. Where aliens, aliens, well, always wanna go. Always wanna go. Always wanna go. Where it's Christmas morning every day, and everyone will miss the day the earth Always wanna go. Always wanna go. Always wanna go where the earth laying opened up the eyes, and this is what he saw. So I have an idea for something we can do. Here, wait. I'm gonna close the curtain for a second, just so that I can do a costume change. Here we go. All right. So um, I'm glad you guys are getting to appreciate the surreal curtain. It's an amazing feature of this uh, room. Um, Actually, somebody asked what would be in my shoebox, which is an Orbiting Human Circus thing. But I think a stage. I think a stage and a movie screen and a record player and let's see, uh, what else? Yeah, all of those kinds of moments. So the thing that I thought we could do that would be kind of fun is I thought we could list some of our favorite things about the world. This was something we used to do in the '90s a little bit, and they can be really silly things. I'll tell you some of mine, but just things like iced coffee. Iced coffee, isn't it a miracle? Like I love iced coffee, and the I actually saw a coffee tree when I saw a coffee tree for the first time. It was in the botanical gardens in Athens, Georgia. I almost wept with gratitude. um, and well, Tokyo. I love Tokyo so much with all my heart. Shimokitazawa at sunset, um, walking around Koenji, Violan, and Asagaya. Um, there's a um, there's a square in Budapest that I'm really crazy about. That's near the Central Cafe. I don't even know what the square's called or anything. A lot of mine are places. I'm like really crazy about places right now. I mean, where would we be without them? Uh, but so places. Oh God, there's Bryant Park in New York City, and the Palace, which is the palace that's next to it, which is the New York City Research Library, the big library. It's a magical place. So I have tons and tons of mine. And anyway, oh, you guys are doing it. Walks around the neighborhood, fields of corn. I'm gonna go ahead and actually close the curtain again because I don't want to. If you're typing, I don't want to. It can be really weird if someone's staring at you. This enormous head is staring at you while you're typing. It might make you sort of. My grandma's house in Puerto Rico. Magic shops. Magic shops. Tannins in New York City. The Grove in LA. Sunshine on your face and shoulders. Puppies. Yeah. Stuffed animals. Yeah. Aw. Music. There's nothing. I feel like music's such a miracle because there's like nothing on the planet Earth that can transform. Anything could be happening. You could be feeling anything. If you put on headphones and you put on a song really loud and you lose yourself in the song, it transforms everything. Everything becomes beautiful again. Um, well, God, thank you guys so much for typing all of that. I think that while you do that, or if you want to take a break and then do more after this, there's somebody here that I think wants to watch the curtain go up. Now you may notice that as many of you suspected, I have about 7 copies of every outfit I have. So this, I did do a costume change. It's just that the shade of red's slightly different. Um, but so this is, well, here we go. All right, let's do this properly. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, North, the singing saw. Okay, there we go. So North is 7 years old, uh, and saws are born a certain age and stay that age their whole lives. Um, and saws, of course, sing by themselves. We just encourage them. Um, and the other thing that a lot of people don't know about saws is that they actually exist in all times. North, look at that! Everybody's writing your name. They exist in all times at once. So they can actually interact with anyone or anything that's ever been all at the same time, um, which can sometimes be really wonderful. So um, North is kind of using that ability to play one of his favorite songs for you with one of his absolute heroes. A fellow who played piano who was a New York City cab driver and one of the greatest pianist probably in the world ever. North's hero, Duke Jordan, and North. And they're going to play uh, If I Did, Would You? North's going to play a drum solo now. So saws love drum solos because it's kind of like getting your belly scratched. For uh, North is bowing. And gosh, so North, this is really embarrassing. North wants me to tell you that his new single is out. He actually sings lead on a song for once. Usually he's, doing accompaniment. And so he's kind of, and he's a child. So He's kind of proud of it, but it's called Saw's Tales. It's like all that kind of stuff. um, yeah. Oh, so oh wow, see all the clapping hands. Wow, I wish we could do that song. So type. Um, I can come up with a couple, and I'm gonna lower the curtain for a second. Whoops. Oh, there's the curtain. All right. Um, and let's see some other ones of mine. Well, watch Ninochka. We can do movies too. Ninochka. There's a movie called Ruggles at Red Gap. There's a movie called Employee's Entrance, and oh god, and Mifune. It was Mifune's 100-something birthday the other day, and Takashi Shimura, which actually that's a good transition here. I'm gonna bring this back up. Whoa, curtain goes back up. Heron Sluvich, yes. Hi, Luke Fowler says, yeah. So, what was I going to tell you guys about? Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you after. I'll do the songs first. This is a song that it's a little bit of a medley. The first part is an orchestral banjo piece, and it's excerpt from the suite from the Second Imaginary Symphony, and let's see. Once a year, you'll appear, dine at their tables and drink, stoop to stoop, though no one sees you. Once a year, you'll appear, swing on your swing set, sing snowy night rooms, your sweet snowy tune. No, they will wake you. They are cover your form with old clothes. No, they will wake you to their arms and must storm cellar grew cold. Go this night into time, oh you scare them dressed in sheets of white at dizzying heights? Go this night into time, the children mistaken to think it untrue. You old ancient ruse, you know they will wake you. They are cover your form with old clothes. No, they will take you into their arms. Tell them the secret to snowing. Pointing hands, ghosts of the old friends we all used to be. We all used to be. Pointing hands, somehow we all played in musical bands that toured through the land. No, they will wake you. They are covered your form with gold. No, they will take you to their arms. Tell them the secret to snow. So I know something fun we can do. I'm gonna here. Let's see. Okay. Actually, yeah. Let's do that. Okay. So where I come from, there's a tradition, um, kind of a, a myth. I'll talk about it later, but a little bit, but called the Great Recitating Platypus. um, but all I really wanted to tell you about now was just that at a certain time of year and in certain events, there's a tradition, and the tradition is um, that the tradition is that you think of somebody that you would love or people for that holiday that you would that are no longer with you that you would love to have with you, and all you do is you just think of them, and it's called naming them, and you name them in your mind and in your heart, and and you picture the nice feeling of being with them, and you do that for each person. Uh, and so I thought it could be kind of fun to do that now. And if any of you would like to share, you could do that as well. But also, or just describe them. You don't have to say their name, but also, for me, I've mentioned a few of them. My grandma's, grandpa, and Jeremy, and oh, well, anyway. I don't want to distract you with mine, but in any event, uh, I thought it could be nice. Uh, and if yes, it works for people that you love that you can't be with right now as well. So just anyone who can't be with you. And why don't you guys do that? And while you do that, I'm gonna actually lower the curtain. We could do that together. And so I'm not staring at you while you type. Um, and meanwhile, um, it's cherry blossom season. It's the end of cherry blossom season right now in Tokyo, and um, I thought that it might be nice to share with you guys um, a little bit of the traditional cherry blossom music and rituals that we have here in Tokyo. So while we do this, we'll just do a little interlude here of some traditional Japanese cherry blossom celebrating. Uh, and so here's a song. Um, So there you go. I think that's pretty much just as good as actually being in Tokyo for all of you. Uh, and now I would like to sing a song actually with North. We're going to sing this one together. Um, let's see. So here we go. Hear the laughs, laugh, last. Hear the words spoke last again. This old year stands again. This old year stands again. Hear the laughs, laugh last. Hear the words spoke last. This old year stands again. This old year stands again. Hear the laughs, laugh last. Hear the words spoke last. Hear the laughs, laugh last. This old year stands this old year stands again for North is singing solid, ladies and gentlemen. And now, actually, since he's on the stage, wait here, I'm going to lower the curtain again for a sec. There we go. This next song is actually going to be a duet. A duet between Rumika and North. Oops. So this is Rumika, ladies and gentlemen. Rumika, of course, is bigger than North, significantly bigger than North. Both Rumika and North were born in Hawaii, actually. They're both Hawaiian steel. And I think it's time for you guys to really relax. There's a certain kind of music for both of them that is not only the best music for relaxing, so get very comfortable out there. It's also the very best music, I think, for luxurious relaxing. So get ready for some luxurious relaxation. This is music from their home. So let's see. And you guys can keep also typing in favorite things if you want. I'm seeing little things that you're Thimble Circus, absolutely. There's a lot of love for Thimble Circus here right now. People are saying hi to Romika. That's so nice. And also that song was from the Orbiting Human Circus. That was a new song. It's from Naughty Till New Year's in the Orbiting Human Circus. Some of you guys, I think, maybe are here, know about me just through music. The Orbiting Human Circus is kind of like this thing that's become my obsession that I've been making lately with some of the most talented people imaginable, which has been an incredible honor. But it's sort of like a multi-hour concept album where you can have as much story, and it's almost like a movie and that's in your ears, but it's all sound and there's songs and stuff. So anyway, and through it, I've gotten to work with some. I mean, my one of my best friends on the planet Earth, John Cameron Mitchell, who's a genius and so funny. Susanna Flood, David, Barlow, Dan, just like all of you guys. Tim Robbins is played a cricket last season. He played a flea this season. Next season, we're going to see if he'll play an atom. Working with him is unbelievable. Working with one of your heroes. Anyway, I forgot that I'm playing a song here. And by the way, John's probably watching. John, are you watching? Say hi to John, everybody. Mitchell. All right. So, what was I doing? I got so caught up in that. Oh, we're gonna do. All right. So, all right, everybody, are you very comfortable? Get very, very comfortable. Get extremely, extremely relaxed. And here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was North. He's going to leave the stage now. His big sister, Romika's coming on here. You hear how much lower her voice is? So, North and Romika, ladies and gentlemen, they're bowing. All right, off they go. So there's a tradition where I grew up. Trans rights. There's a tradition where I grew. Of course, there's a tradition where I grew up. That it's a myth that everyone, kids believe in it for generations, kids and grown-ups have felt that there's this thing called the Great Resuscitating Platypus. It's sort of like the Tooth Fairy or Santa Claus, but it's that when you're not feeling well, the platypus will come while you sleep, and as you dream, it will come into your room and it will recite poetry. And when you wake up, you'll feel better. And for whatever reason, you're not feeling good. And kids have always believed in it, and many adults do. And actually, scientifically, it's been proven to work. And where I come from, also, a lot of people talk about the fact that the most proven scientific phenomena in the history of science is the placebo effect. But it's more than that, and it's a lot more than that. And anyway, there's a holiday around this tradition called Platypus Eve, and when it begins, there's a really simple little ritual. A lot of people have asked me when Platypus Eve is, and the answer is it's whenever it's needed. And when it begins, one thing that you can do, one small little tradition is uh, you invite the platypus into your home. And you can also do it for other people. You can invite the platypus into their home. And all you do to do this is you picture your bedroom and picture yourself asleep in it and picture the platypus coming. And that's its invitation. And then what you do is to do it for someone that you love or for a friend, you picture them sleeping and you picture the same thing. You picture the platypus coming. And do you guys want to? There are also games. There are lots of holiday games and stuff like that. So there's an infinity of things that we can do. Um, do you do you guys want to play there's a Platypus Eve game that we could play a little bit of one. Um, and let's see. Do you guys want to do it? Do you want to go? Let's see, I'm looking to see. You guys are talking about me becoming president. What's going on here? Ah, I see a yes, yes game. Okay, okay, good, 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 good. Um, so this is how you play it. This is called the first shadow. It's a shadow game. There are all these shadow games that are part of the holiday, and we'll do the simplest one. So what you do is, you know, it's kind of a hypnotic game a little bit, and what you do is a lot of these games are. You sit down and just relax, and you know how there's a space behind you that you can't see, like you can never see. There's this one area behind you that you can never see. Um, well, you imagine that in that space, it's kind of shadowy right now. Like you just imagine that right now, and you imagine a place since you were born till now that you've really, really loved, a place that you've felt really, really happy. And it could even be a time, a different time in a place. It could even be the place where you are. And what you do is you begin to know that that place is there. It's exactly where you can't see behind you. And you feel it. And you can feel that even though it's kind of shadowy, you can feel it, that it's there. And that's the first step. You just sort of feel, you know how you can feel when something's behind you? You can almost feel something like touching the skin on the back of your neck or something. And you begin to let it get light. You imagine it getting light in that room, and you just imagine that that's what's directly behind you. And so you're half here and you're half there. Now you go ahead and do that. And I'm going to actually cover this so that I can give you guys some privacy. Um, And now what you do is imagine a door there. Imagine there's a door. It doesn't make any sense where the door is, but there's just this door there. And there's a light coming from under the door, and there's sound from coming behind the door. You know when sometimes you're in a house or some place where there's people that you love, or there's something that you really like going on and you're really excited about it, but you haven't gone in yet, and it's on the other side of the door, and you can hear the sounds and the laughter of the people that you love and the things that you love, but you just don't want to go in yet because it feels so nice to be on the other side, to anticipate it. And so that's kind of what that door's like. There's like light coming out of it, and behind that door is a vast landscape. It's believed that behind that door is everything you've ever wished for, everything you ever will wish for. And so just go ahead and concentrate on that door, and you do that for a moment. I'm going to let you do that for a moment. Um, and then what you begin to do is you begin to sort of imagine what might be behind that door. Um, and you still can't see in it, but you feel what's there. And I'm sorry, I'm doing it too, so I want to kind of to get into it a little bit. Um, I see there's a dog, um, and Mark, an aunt, a grandfather, grandma, Jason, Louise, it's my sister, grandparents, Val, Caddy, Cheerio, a dog named Cheerio, uh, Chris, Alex. Um, the woods in Georgia are blossoming with dew, and Stephanie Cack and Nuka, and um, you know, I there's something I was thinking recently about the idea of heaven. Um, it suddenly struck me just how nice it is to imagine a heaven that's got everyone that you loved waiting for you. You know, like if I really could go up there, and my grandma would be there, and my dog would just like, Rudolph would run up to me. But then I was thinking that in order for it to be heaven, it really should be everyone that we've ever loved from the minute we were born. Everyone that we've ever known and loved, even people who are alive, people that we haven't seen or we lost touch with or everything changed, them in the moments that we loved each other and that we were able to share love, them in the good times, them in the beautiful, the really wonderful moments that we shared together, all of those people are all there. And that's actually what's behind the door. And everyone you thought of and everything that you typed. And the game ends with you knowing that that door will always be behind you and can always be behind you whenever you need it and whenever you want it. And now for inspiration, I'm going to show you somebody who's incredibly good at playing this game, who's playing it right now. And you know, I said that you know, it was a little bit hypnotic. You know, for Tokyo Sheep here, it's extremely hypnotic. And this is Tokyo Sheep, who lives in this room that I came to live in. And I'm just going to show you how amazing they are at this. They actually sleepwalk. Watch this. Walk. Isn't that amazing? He's still in the trance. All right. So I'd like to do one more song for you guys. And I'd like to well, let's see. I want to explain. You know how we've all been spending actually before I do that, I want to just sort of see if anybody's, let's see. All right. I know that we've all been learning a lot about ourselves, new things about ourselves, and finding out new things, and being at home and not being able to leave. And I too have discovered some new things. One of the things I discovered is that two of the stuffed animals that lived with us are actually the reincarnated souls of the 1940s singer Joe Strafford and Gordon McRae. And so, having made this discovery, I kind of thought it would be cool if we did a song together for you. And so here we go. Oh, and actually, also, I just wanted to say, and I'm going to close the curtain for 1 second here. Thank you for all the wonderful requests. Some things I can't do without Ravi, and some things I can't do because they're too loud, but I want to do this again sometime. And so we'll definitely do it together and again, and I'll try to do more of those songs because some of the requests were really, really amazing. Okay, so here we go. This is featuring Barnum and Hoagie. All right. And of course, North is gonna start it off. So here he is. When you come to the end of a perfect day, and you sit alone with your thoughts, while the chimes ring out with a carol gay, for the joy that the day has brought. Do you think that the end of a perfect day can mean to a tired heart, when the sun goes down with a flaming dear friends have to part. Bogey, ladies and gentlemen. Well, memory has painted this perfect day with colors that never fade. And we find at the end of a perfect day the soul